Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
Nice come from behind victory for the Angels last night. A big fourth inning, and Ernesto Frieri made it hold up as the Halos took game one against Texas tonight. Here's the Big A. It is game two of the three-game set. Hi, everybody, from inside the Big A, and alongside my broadcast partner, Mark Gubazon, Victor Rojas. So glad you could join us for Angels baseball here on Fox Sports West. And mentioned that fourth inning last night for the Halos, a 5-run inning against Matt Garza, which was capped off by Mark Trumbo's 30th home run of the season. Nice to see him with back-to-back 30 or more home runs.
Yeah, very impressive victory. And just a few years before that, he was 29 home runs, so he almost had back-to-back 30 home run season. But the consistent swing for him, that's what he's looking for. That baseball will jump off his bat. So only 6 Angels in history have had back-to-back seasons of 30 or more home runs. Tim Salmon did it 3 times. Troy Gloss. Vlad was the last to do so before Mark Trumbo. When you talk about baseballs jumping off the bat, you're talking Mark Trumbo. Even a slider hit speed off the bat over 108 miles per hour. He's generating all that speed off the bat on a breaking ball. He's been able to drive the ball consistent. He's been able to drive the ball out the left field, right center field, pull the ball down the line. 30 home run season, 87 RBI for Mark Trumbo. When he gets hot, he's shown that ability to be able to carry the club. Hopefully, he'll be able to do so in a warm night here at 6 o'clock start. Baseball should travel pretty good against a lefty. May see another 1 or 2 tonight.
Just the second time this year in which Texas had a 3-0 lead and ended up losing. So nice for the Angels. See if they can make it 2 in a row. Garrett Richards will be on the hill for the Halos, and the left-hander Derek Holland on the bump for Texas. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A, so sit back and relax. We're going to bring you the lineups and the first pitch when we return. Angels baseball is brought to you
So we dusted off our boots and put our cowboy hats on straight. Them Texans raised the roof when Jeff opened up his case. You say y'all all want a two-step.
We welcome you back out to the Big 8, Game 2 of this 3-game set. The Halos, of course, taking Game 1 last night, 6-5. The final tonight, you've got Garrett Richards and Derek Holland locking horns, if you will, in Game 2.
I like that one.
I'm not surprised. The lineup cards have been exchanged at home plate, and last night, a nice comfort behind victory for the Angels in that 5-run fourth thing, and then Ernesto Frieri with 2 outs. A little bit of a hiccup there, but able to notch his 31st save of the season, while C.J. Wilson picked up his 15th win.
Yeah, he knew it wasn't going to be easy for Ernesto, but he got the job done. A high fastball gets Kinsler swinging, who's had success against Frieri and the Angels.
Halos are taking the field. We'll check out Ron Washington starting 9, Texas. At the start of the day, a half game back, and now a full game back, with Oakland having defeated the Houston Astros earlier today. They have an 80-60 record. Jurickson Profar will lead things off. He's at second base. Elvis Andrews a shortstop. Kinsler gets to start at DH tonight. Beltre at third. Brzezinski behind the plate. Rios, who homered last night, is in right field. Moreland gets to start at first. David Murphy at left. And Leonis Martin in center field. That is the lineup that Washington puts out there against the right-hander. Garrett Richards on the season, 5-6, a 4.06 ERA, looking to bounce back. Command has been the biggest issue for him, but stuff is certainly still there.
Well, the fastball velocity, 94, 97, but commanding and trusting movement. Starting the fastball, middle part of the plate, trust cut and sink action, get ahead. And with his ability to get ahead, he has that nasty slider, and his curveball has been getting better. So the important thing for him tonight, fastball command and get it ahead of the count.
Defensively for the Angels behind Garrett Richards, you have J.B. Shuck at left, Mike Trout at center, Colin Cowgill at right. The infield consists of Luis Jimenez, Eric Ibar, Grant Green, and Mark Trumbo from third to first, and Chris Sinetta behind the plate. And,
you know, we always talk about the velocity of Garrett Richards, but he is a ground ball pitcher, and Grant Green should be getting a lot of action there at second base. Just 1 error in 24 starts for him as a member of the Angels. Has been involved in turning 12 double plays also. Showing better range, certainly the glove side getting a little bit better and more improvement to the backhand as far as that long throw behind the bag at second base.
Halos have struggled all season long against the Texas Rangers, even after taking the season series last year, but Texas had their 7-game winning streak against the Angels and snapped last night. We'll see if they can keep it going today. Halos with the win last night, now 3-2 on this homestand. 34-39 here at home. Jurickson, Profar was the DH last night. He was in the 9th spot, leading things off tonight. 0 for 3 last night. Was also hit by a pitch. Switch hitter, hitting .240. Has 5 home runs and 24 runs batted in. One ball, no strikes. Last start for Garrett Richards, as you see Profar's numbers, was against Tampa. Gave up a run, 2 hits, 5 innings of work. Runs in there to even up the count. Picked up the win. That was that 7-walk performance, a new career high for him.
And behind the count, really the last couple of games for Garrett.
Bouncer to the right side, Trumbo deep to his right. Foot race now, and Richards gets that foot on the bag. Just ahead of Profar.
Yeah, ideally, if you're Mark Trumbo, you're going to feed Richards covering the base a little bit further, going towards the base. You got a little more velocity. If you have to reach back and then you have to stretch out, get that foot down, Profar runs well. You're better off if you're Mark Trumbo going to the base and allowing Grant Green to field that ground ball.
Luis Jimenez comes in and allows Richards to kind of catch his breath a little bit.
Again, you can never fault a player for being aggressive. That's the one thing, and Mark Trumbo certainly is. But as he gets more and more comfortable playing more games here, and we've seen that of late at first base, you're going to let that ground ball go to Grant Green, get right to the base. Easy 4-3 ground out.
Especially with a speed guy like Profar getting down the line. Here's Elvis Andrews, who looks at his strike. Andrews hitting .265, a couple of home runs, 51 runs batted in. As a matter of fact, hit his 2nd home run last night. Very first pitch he saw in his 4th at bat. That was the last batter that CJ faced in the 7th. And he lines this one into left field. High fastball. So man on with one out, and Kinsler, the DH, coming to the plate.
Boy, his last 3 hits have been in that side of the field. Generally, you're seeing most hits from Andrews to right field to right center. They're staying inside with the fastball, but that ran out over the plate, and he turned on it. Base hit. Now a stolen base threat at first base. You're going to see some step offs, some throw overs. 35 stolen bases in 41 attempts for Andrews.
Kinsler had a 2-for-4 game last night with a double and a single. Also scored a run. Rangers had 9 hits. The Angels had 10 overall. And Texas will run second in the American League with 112 stolen bases, led by Andrews. Rios just behind him at 34 stolen bases. One ball, no strikes.
Well, that fastball had some serious running up and in action on Kinsler. Kinsler very quick on fastballs up and in. Dangerous spot. He's looking to turn on the inner part of the plate.
Good lead for Andrews over at first base. Kinsler chops this one to third. Jimenez bobbles it, fires to Green, and fires it wildly into right. So instead of a tailor-made double play to finish off the inning, that little bobble cost the Angels as Andrews ends up at third.
And Jimenez has been so good, that tough in-between hop, and then tried to make the perfect throw, and it throws it wide to Grant Green at second base. Never really had a grip on the baseball. Still at this point, if you're Garrett Richards, you trust Jimenez. He's been outstanding at third base. You get another ground ball right back at him, finish it off with a double play.
Fourth error for Luis this year. Now Beltre at the plate. Third baseman hitting .320. Hits this one back up the middle at Texas with a 1-0 lead. Beltre picks up his 84th run batted in, and it snaps an 0 for him.
Boy, fastball inner half, and Beltre jumps on it. Ground ball right up the middle. Now, if you're Richards, think in terms of limited the damage.
Snaps an 0 for 13 for Beltre. So first and second, one out. There's A.J. Przinsky. Przinsky last night had a couple of hits, 2 singles and an RBI, 2 for 4. Pulls this one foul.
Well, early on, very aggressive against Richards. A lot of first pitch swinging. That should, you would think, benefit Garrett Richards with his movement on his fastball.
Costly error by Luis Jimenez. See if Garrett can limit that damage. First and second and one out. Breaking ball, and that's the pitch that he can get it over for a strike with the aggressiveness that they've shown here in the early going.
And that's the big pitch for me, for Garrett to be effective against lefties, his curveball, and eventually his changeup. Because everything's kind of running on the inner half of the plate and down against left-handed batters, whether it's his four-seam fastball or slider. He needs that slow curveball to throw off the timing.
1-1, hit out to center field. Trout racing back on the warning track near the wall, makes the catch, 2 outs. Kinsler heads to third. Beltre stays at first. And he's got to get that breaking pitch or off-speed pitch going to get those guys off that fastball.
Yeah, because this fastball is good, but this Ranger club can hit a fastball. Well, just enough on the inner half. Didn't get the barrel of the bat on it perfectly. It still drove that all the way to the wall. You can see the baseball carrying extremely well here this entire homestand.
Here's Alex Rios, who homered last night. Had a couple of hits. 2 runs batted in. 1 ball, no strikes on Rios. 281 average, 15 home runs, 65 runs batted in. A.J. Pierzynski talking things over with Dave Magadan, the hitting coach. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I don't even think of all the offensive players that have left this Ranger club since last season. Magadan's done a nice job as far as having them make contact. They're as far as at the bottom as far as strikeouts, swinging the bat in the American League. So making contact and utilizing their speed. A different club than normal.
Rios ahead of the count at 2 balls and a strike. Texas with a run here in the first. Andrews with a single. Kinsler with 1 out. Bounce one to Jimenez, who bobbled the baseball and then fired it into right field. And Belcher with an RBI single. Tapper foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And at least as far as command is concerned, for Garrett, he's still within the strike zone tonight. He has not been erratic as of yet.
No, you don't see a lot of pitches high and out of the zone or bouncing. He's maintaining his mechanics. The thing with Garrett is not overthrowing. You don't have to when you have an arm that he has. The more you overthrow, the more you're going to hit the ball in the dirt with your fastball or bounce a slider in the dirt.
Two on the way. This one's popped up. Should be playable for either Trumbo or Green. And it's Mark Trumbo making the catch in foul territory. And the top of the first is in the books. But Texas does strike for a run. We'll head to the bottom of the first inning. Rangers on top 1-0. We'll check out Mike Scioscia starting 9 for the Angels with 66 and 74 on the season. They have J.B. Shuck leading things off at left. Eric Ibar's the shortstop. Mike Trout is in center. Mark Trumbo, the cleanup hitter at first. Josh Hamilton at DH. It's Chris Iannetta doing the catching. Colin Cowgill gets the start at right. Luis Jimenez at third. Grant Green at second, batting ninth. Taking on the 26-year-old left-hander by the name of Derek Holland.
Derek Holland, fastball 91 to 96. Slider, curveball, changeup. Very good slider. Pitches inside to both lefties and righties very effectively.
J.B. Shuck looks at a strike. J.B. hitting .290 with a couple of home runs at 37 runs batted in. It was J.B. that started that rally for the Angels in the 4th inning with a base hit. Scored one of those 5 runs. Swings through this one. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. You figure that Holland, coming off a start in which he got pulled after 4 2/3 against Oakland, giving up 4 runs, 3 earned, that he would be more aggressive within the strike zone.
Yeah, he has a very good fastball. At times he throws too many sliders.
Slow roller up the first base line. Holland picks it up, fires to first, fires it down the line. JB's going to try to get the second. Rios was backing up on the plate. JB's in there.
Good aggressive base running for JB. strong throw for Rios. There's some good arms in the outfield for the Rangers here tonight, but you have to press the issue. And J.B. Shuck took advantage of a mistake by Derek Holland, throwing the ball away. That should be his second error of the season. And now in scoring position for Eric Ibar. Difficult play, trying to be quick with the throw. Would have been a real close play, even if Moreland catches the baseball. Head first slide, gets the hand in there before the tag is applied.
Error all the way on Holland. Figured perhaps get a hit with an error, but it's an error on Holland.
It's a tough play for a pitcher. You're especially a left-handed pitcher. You're falling towards third. You have to spin around and go back and field the ball, and knowing that Shuck's running down the line like that, that forced him to throw the ball quicker, and an inaccurate throw because of that.
That was gas that Moreland could not handle.
Yeah, wasn't ready for that close.
Ibar bunch went beautifully down the third base line. Beltre off balance throw gets him out.
I don't think there's many baseball players who played third base ever better than Beltre coming in on a bunt. Well, it is a perfect bunt. Job was done by Eric Ibar. He advances Shuck to third, but all in one motion and a perfect throw to Moreland at first. That arm angle, yet with good accuracy and velocity on it for Beltre.
For 1 out and a man at third. Angels down 1-0. Here's Mike Trout. Infield, of course, playing back, except Beltre just about even with the back at third. Now backs up a little bit. First one's in for a strike. And as we saw last night, the outfield shading Trout the opposite way. Mike hitting .338 now after going 3 for 4 last night. 3 singles and an RBI.
Trout hit .409 in his career versus Derek Holland, including 2 home runs.
One ball, one strike, and we'll take a look at our Hyundai key to the game.
And you can see what the Angels are doing early on. A little drape the motion. You have to press the issue against this Ranger go, especially with Derek Holland on the hill. Very, very good fastball. Difficulties in general, the Angels against lefties. So the motion, we saw right away with JB taking an extra base, the bunt by Ibar, and an opportunity to create a run early on.
Bouncer to third, coming home is JB Shuck, bobbled by Beltre, and we're tied up at 1.
And right on cue, forcing the issue, making the Rangers make a perfect play, and Beltre unable to do so. Tried to be too quick, thought he might have had to play at the plate. With Shuck going on contact, able to score the tying run. A couple mistakes early on for the Rangers defense. Should be another RBI for Trout.
Trumbo swings to the first one, drives one out to center. Forget about this one. Gone, a big fly from Mark Trumbo, his 31st of the season. 3-1 Angels.
That's home run number 4 against Derek Holland for Mark Trumbo. Make that 31 on the season. Talked about he may hit 2 tonight. Got 1 out of the way already. 2-run home run, giving him now 89 RBI. This ball is crushed once again. Great balance, power off the front leg, squares it up, and well out to center field.
Courtesy glance by Leonis Martin in center. Here's Josh Hamilton.
I think our camera guys are more concerned about that baseball than Martin.
Hamilton at DH tonight, hitting .238, 19 home runs, 62 runs batted in. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Josh last night 1 for 4 with a base hit.
11 career home runs versus Texas.
Breaks his bat, bouncing slowly towards second. Elvis Anderson, the overshift, has it. Retires Hamilton as the barrel ended up at the second base position. 2 outs.
Patrick Holland will pitch inside well. He'll break some bats during the course of the game, but he also will give up the long ball, especially the right-handed batters. His 15th home run he's allowed to right-handed batters this season. Shatters the bat. Goes inside, right on the handle, and that's all Hamilton has left of the bat.
Inetta fouls off the first one. 0-1 count on Chris, hitting .212 with 8 home runs and 32 runs batted in. Night off last night with Conger getting the start. One ball, one strike. So 2 errors in the inning, costing the Rangers, just like the error in the top of the inning cost the Halos. This was a broken bat roller up the first base line. Fielded and flipped underhand to Moreland this time. And the Angels' half of the first is in the books, but not before the Angels score 3 times. The capper, the 2-run home run by Mark Trumbo, 31st of the season. We're through 1. And the Angels lead it 3-1.
Three-1 lead here in the top of the second. And coming up later in the game, we'll check out the big news from around the majors on the Carl's Jr. Sports Update.
Sound effects are priceless. Top of the second, 3-1. Angels on top.
Absolutely no hints.
No hits.
Not tonight.
I'll lay low. I'll wait for it. Bottom third of the order against Garrett. Moreland, Murphy, and Martin here in the second for Texas. Mitch Moreland, the first baseman, a .244 average, 22 home runs, 57 runs batted in. Strike one. Got into the game last night as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. That was against Dane De La Rosa with 2 outs. Smoked one right to Mark Trumbo, who ended up smothering it. That was the last out of that 8th inning. Had a man in scoring position at that time as well. 1 ball, 1 strike. Garrett allowing a couple of hits in that first inning. Like the ratio thus far, 18 pitches, 12 strikes, 6 balls. 2 balls and a strike.
He might throw a changeup there. 89-mile-an-hour pitch. It's like we saw the other day for Richards. Wasn't real comfortable on the mound as far as getting a grip of the baseball. Real hot. Trying to make sure he keeps his hands dry to get a feel for the pitches.
Ground ball towards second. Diving stop by Green from his knees. Throws the first. Got him. What a play by Grant. 1 out.
Boy, nice play. Good range. More and more work. More and more comfortable for Grant Green at second base. To the backhand. Outstanding. Strong throw. Able to get Moreland for the first out. That quick first step, the prep step to be in position to be able to field that ball like that. It was hit hard.
Looked like a pretty good shortstop play going to the hole. 1-0 to David Murphy. Downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes.
Drafted in the first round as a shortstop.
David Murphy batting .222, has 13 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Product of Baylor University, former first-round pick himself of the Boston Red Sox. Fouls this one off to the left. Count evened up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Murphy hits in 5 of his last 6 games, 5 for 18 during that stretch as he rolls this one foul toward the dugout. Count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
If you're going in with a fastball against Murphy, if you're Richards, you make sure it's off the plate in. That one at 95. He's very quick on a fastball inside.
Grounded to short. 2 outs. Kids, the Angels want to honor you, our youngest fans, tomorrow. The Angels taking on the Rangers in the finale of this 3-game set. It's a 12:35 start tomorrow afternoon. All kids in attendance will have a chance to win great prizes like San Diego Zoo passes.
All right.
Been there?
Yes.
Farrell's Restaurant gift cards.
Yes, been there.
You like the malts?
Yes.
Gift cards of all different sorts, as well as autographed merchandise, and more.
And more.
And more.
I like the more.
That's your favorite part.
Yes.
Purchase your tickets. Log on at angels.com/promotions. Leonis Martin takes down and in for ball 1. Leadoff man last night, batting on the 9th spot tonight. Center fielder hitting .264 with 7 home runs and 37 runs batted in. And 1 for 5 last night. His 1 was the double with 2 outs. Eventually came around to score on the Andrews base hit. 1 ball, 1 strike. Similar to the pitch in which he doubled down the first base line last night, down and in. Lays off of this 2-1.
It's a pretty good pop in the bat. You think of him with a lot of speed, which he does have, but he's got good pop in the bat. That walk-off home run against the Angels in Texas.
Oppo. Down the line.
That's pretty good distance for a left-handed batter to hit the ball out in Arlington the other way.
Native of Cuba. Tapper off the foot. Count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Martin defected in the summer of 2010 and signed with Texas.
There's been a lot of real good players coming over from Cuba of late, putting up some tremendous numbers.
Yoenis Cespedes, who was a rookie last year, hit his 22nd of the year today as Oakland defeated Houston 2-1. 2-2. Down and in. Full count now. Jurickson Profar is on deck. Texas with a run in the first. The Angels answer with 3 at the bottom of the inning. Helped out by 2 errors. Holland and Beltre. 3-2 into center field.
Never a good idea if you're a pitcher to put your pitching hand up there on a line drive up the middle, even though that wasn't necessarily squared up by Martin. Richards reacted, put his pitching hand up there to try to catch that line drive. Not a good decision for Garrett. Too valuable of an arm.
That's got broken finger written all over.
Exactly. I mean, it's your normal reaction at times, but still, you want to put the glove up or get out of the way.
Here's the leadoff man, Profar. Grounded out to Trumbo in the first inning. Martin off to a good lead over at first base. 30 stolen bases for him on the season. He's been caught 8 times.
One thing Mark Trumbo always has to be aware of, that throw from Garrett Richards, it's going to come over there firm.
And with some movement. One ball, no strikes. Martin takes off. The pitch to strike, the throw down from Iannetta. A little bit high. Ibar tried to catch a tag quickly. And it's a stolen base.
Pretty good jump. Quick throw, but a high throw as Ibar tried to be real quick with the catch and tag at the same time. Able to get the handle of it.
One ball, one strike on Profar with the man in scoring position. 2-1.
That's that reaction you see sometimes from hitters against Richards. You're thinking fastball, you got a fastball, but then it cuts almost like a slider at 95 from Richards.
Two balls, two strikes, and 2 outs. Elvis Andrus on deck. Here's a 2-2. Profar lays off the off speed. And a full count. Back-to-back hitters with full counts after retiring the first 2 fairly quickly on ground outs. Moreland and Murphy. Here's the 3-2. Profar lines one into right field. That's a base hit. Martin's being waved in. Here comes a throw from Cowgill. Trumbo trying to cut it off. The run comes in. It's 3-2. RBI single for Profar. Picks up his 25th RBI of the season. So back-to-back 2-out hits. Iannetta now out to talk to him. Off the bat, it looked as if Cowgill was coming up with the baseball that our team was just rounding third base, that they had a chance to perhaps make a play if he had a better throw. as Andrews bounces it foul. Andrews with a single in the first inning. Scored the first Ranger run. Richard just given one back here in the second. 3-2 Angels here in the second inning.
Well, Andrews has given the Angels a lot of trouble. Who had his whole career, 327 career hitter against the Angels, 370 this season. And I feel you just pitch him away. When fastballs break a ball away, bring your right fielder in slightly.
And just 2 home runs on this season. Just 22 extra base hits total on the season. Cowgill and Trout shading him the opposite way. Profar with good speed, he'll run. Struggled at the major league level picking up stolen bases, just 1 of 5 this year. Takes off here. 0-2 is outside, and it's a stolen base. So the tying run in scoring position. 2 stolen bases in the inning. And now 1 ball 2 strike count on Elvis.
And Richards coming into this game has been pretty solid as far as slowing down a running game. 7 stolen bases in 12 attempts.
Bill Welke, the home plate umpire, putting a new baseball into play. Two quick outs and then back-to-back hits. Bill, the old hockey style mask.
Another Tim Welke, another solid umpire.
One-two, ground ball to short. Ibar has it. Side is retired, but Texas picks up a run on a couple of hits. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Angels lead at 3-2. Closer match. Josh Hamilton, Bobby Flay, Mike Trout, Matt Barkley, or Mike Maddox, Frank Zappa. Hashtags are to the right. Send us a tweet at Fox Sports West and give you the running total a little bit later on. As of last night, the Maddox Zappa combo leading the way.
Hamilton and Bobby Flay are real close though.
Tim Salmon didn't care for that.
He didn't?
No. Guess he doesn't like barbecue.
Or burgers.
2 balls, no strikes. Here's a look at the.
That's pretty close.
That's very close. Trout and Barkley.
Yes.
And then Maddox and Zappa.
Yeah. That's real good, too.
2-0. 2-1.
They're all three really good.
The amazing thing about the Maddox Zappa picture is that Mike Maddox, when he goes out to the mound, is usually massaging his pitcher's shoulder with the right hand. And in that picture, Frank Zappa looks like he's massaging somebody's shoulder on the couch.
Exactly.
See? Here's a strike.
Both right-handed pitchers.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Colin Cowgill, Luis Jimenez, and Grant Green for the Angels here in the second, the bottom third of the order. Full count. 296 average for Cowgill. 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. Colin had the 1-for-3 game on Thursday. Bases clearing double in the second inning. Second double of the year. This grounded to short. Andrews, a little bit of a bobble. Cowgill will reach. That's the 3rd error already for Texas.
Well, middle of the pack as far as club fielding. 72 errors come into the game, but 3 already.
Beltre committed his 13th earlier. Now Andrews has committed his 13th.
And then not only bobbled, it couldn't get his foot under as far as to have a quality throw to first base. 13th error of the season for Elvis Andrews.
There's Luis Jimenez, a third baseman. 255 batting average, 5 doubles, 5 runs batted in. Takes a strike. Luis last night 0-for-3 with a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout.
Eric Holland has allowed 7 stolen bases in 10 attempts, 3 pickoffs this year, 19 career pickoffs. He's got a good move to first. Like that one. That's a solid move.
Luis pulls one into left field. That's going to get down and go for extra bases. Cowgill on his way to third. Murphy picks it up cleanly. Cowgill being waved around. Here comes the throw from Elvis Andrews, and Cowgill is out at the plate.
Boy, it took an absolutely perfect relay throw to get Cowgill at the plate. Mentioned the outfield arms for the Rangers. Very, very solid. 10th outfield assist for David Murphy this season. Martin with 12 in center and Rios with 9 in right. Did a good job as far as getting that baseball in quickly to the relay man. And Andrews right on the money as Brzezinski applies the tag before Cowgill can get his hand on the plate. Good call by Bill Welke to be in position to see that tag being applied.
Brzezinski blocking the plate as Grant Green shoots one into center field. Jimenez broke towards home, now races back to the bag, tags up, racing to the plate. Luis is safe at the plate. Sac fly for Grant Green. The Angels get that run back 4-2, and what I worry about on that slide is, remember, Luis had a shoulder injury at AAA. Hopefully he's all right.
That was a difficult slide in there, and Brzezinski did a very good job as far as blocking the path to the plate again. Mentioned those outfield arms, another solid throw. Martin, as Jimenez comes in thinking that ball is going to be down, your reaction as a base runner, always go back to the base. Strong throw, barely got his hand in there before the tag was applied. Had the foot out, boy, that shoulder. Boy, a lot of pressure on that left shoulder as he tried to get his hand in. As a catcher, you want to be the one to initiate the contact, and certainly Brzezinski did that. But fortunate enough, Jimenez got his hand in, his left hand. And the majority of the contact was not the right arm, which he hurt earlier this season.
Yeah,
AAA.
Grant Green picking up his 9th RBI.
Again, when you're at third, you go right back to the base. You're going to score if that ball lands in the grass anyhow. You want to be back right away. and try not to make that play close.
That wasn't just a stutter step. He came down the line a couple of steps. That's not an easy play for a base runner.
No. To get back, and Martin, what an arm he has. That was an accurate throw, too.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. And again, Brzezinski putting that leg out there. And it's up to you, either go through it or go around it.
Yeah, especially when you go head first slide. Boy, as a catcher, you're in the perfect offensive position.
Error by Andrews. Double by Jimenez. Cowgill thrown out of the plate. Sac fly for Green. 4-2. Halos as they get that run back. Helped out because of the error by Elvis. Shot swings and misses. Brzezinski will throw on to first to complete the strikeout. And the inning comes to an end. Luis Jimenez comes in to score on the Grant Green sacrifice fly. The Halos, after 2 innings, lead it 4-2.
Yeah, we back.
Luis won that battle. The Halos get a run back in the second inning. As we start the third, it's 4-2 Angels. Garrett Richards back to work. Kinsler, Beltran, and Brzezinski to face. Garrett, it's our pleasure to welcome in world-famous comedian, actor, and soon-to-be professional dancer, Bill Engel, and also Angel season ticket holder, Bill Engel.
Right.
How are you, man?
Good.
What's going on, man?
It's so great to be back up here with you guys. Was at dance rehearsals today. I'm going to be on Dancing with the Stars, so I'm appealing to the Angel Nation to vote often. When they called me, they said, we want you to do this. And I said, all right. And I hung up the phone. I thought, what have I just done? It's 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. And this little girl's killing me.
Yeah.
I have got muscles hurting I didn't even know I had.
So what kind of dance are you going to break out for us here during this?
Well, the first week we're doing the foxtrot, which Ned never heard of it before. The first couple days was not pretty.
Now an off of Trumbo's glove and into right field, so leadoff single for Kinsler.
But it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm dancing with a little girl named Emma Slater, who is 23 years old and has way more energy than I do. And sometimes she'll say stuff to me. I want to do this little jump step, and I go, okay, I'm 56, you're 23. Jump step is not in my vocabulary anymore. But it's going to be great. Valerie Harper's on, Jack Osborne, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Dude, I'm telling you, it's like this whole mission.
That's what they're down to now, right? Bill Nye the Science Guy and Bill Engvall.
You know, I'm sure when they've had that first year, they had that shovel that was pointed, and they were just digging stars out. Now they got that flat one; they're just scraping the bottom. But hey, look, we got ink ball.
Oh my!
We dug up an ink ball.
Did you get a chance to pick that purple shirt that you took the photo with?
I knew you were going to Google this stuff. I just knew it.
It's a great fitting shirt.
Yeah, no,
shiny too.
Shiny, very shiny. No, I didn't pick it. They just kind of had it there. When I first went to the fitting, they handed me my dancing shoes, and I kept looking at it, going, "These are men's shoes, right?" Because if I walked through a department store, I would not stop at this pair of shoes. I go, "Well, that's some nice girl shoes. They look like nun shoes, you know." It's just, and now they're but it's.
Just the thought of the purple shirt with those shoes on, the nun shoes, is a beautiful look.
I know it is. There's going to be so many photos out there that I'm never going to live down. Especially when the sequin vest comes out. That's going to be a good one.
Jimenez has it, feeds Green for one. Relay to first in time of double play.
Now that's what you want.
That's what I want to see. And I tell you, this is my respite from dancing, is coming out here to the ballpark. I got to tell you, I'm really stoked about the kids. I call their kids. They're grown men, but the young guys, just, you know, of course, I watched the game. I go, where was that the first half of this season?
Yeah.
You know, they're stealing bases.
A lot of energy.
Yeah, a lot of energy.
Young players.
Yeah, like we don't get texts from you on a nightly basis. What is going on?
I got to tell you something. I just get the biggest kick out of listening to you guys, especially when you get tickled, because it's just this kind of quiet pause, and then all of a sudden I hear Gooby go.
That's the magic of the cough button on our boxes here.
I'm reaching. I'm always
you hear that
reaching
dead
for
air. Yeah, we're reaching for the cough button.
And of course, I'm always sitting here because I text you, but I know you don't text and tweet and nothing.
I'm almost there, though.
Are
Just
you?
About
Are you
there.
getting there?
Just about there.
Listen, dude, if I can do it, anybody can. Get this remedial app. Tweeting for dummies. You know?
I fit the dummies part. I know that.
All right, so when's the first show
September
on?
16th is the premiere. I'm guaranteed for 2 weeks. The first elimination starts on the second week, which we're doing jive dancing.
Wow.
Really?
I'm looking forward to that one for you.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, we'll get everybody to vote for it. Make sure you do
I
that.
appreciate it. And Angel Nation, tune in, vote. If you guys keep it up, because this is what makes me work.
Always a pleasure,
Bill.
Good to you guys. Good
Hamilton
weekend.
is still on top 4-2. Nav, Gary Payton, Andy Roddick, and Carissa Thompson. They'll bring you everything you need to know about the world of sports. Fox Sports Live airs nightly on Fox Sports 1. 4-2 Angels here in the bottom of the third. Ibar, Trout, and Trumbo to face Derek Holland. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Holland with 1 strikeout, no walks, 2 hits allowed. Texas has committed 3 errors through the first 2 innings. Eric had a sacrifice bunt in the first inning, so no official at bat for him. Pulls this one down the left field line. That's going to go for extra bases. Murphy plays the carom cleanly. Eric stops at second with his 27th double of the season. By the way, our thanks to Bill Engvall for joining us in the booth. The longtime Angel season ticket holder, great guy, and
well, he is passionate about his Angel baseball.
He watches Angels baseball all the time because we hear about it.
Yes, exactly. He's going to like that swing from Eric Ibar right down the left field line for his 27th double. Nice job his first at bat, sacrifice bunt, got the job done. Got Shuck into scoring position and eventually scored. Again, the way this game is going, you got to keep adding on.
Trout looks at a strike. He reached on the error by Beltre the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Way inside. That's moving some feet.
He does pitch inside well, whether it's his slider or his fastball.
Two balls, one strike.
Well, the impressive thing about Trout, even though he's been pitched inside the last couple of pitches, he won't give in. He's still going to look in that inner part of the plate. That's where he can turn on the baseball.
Ibar led off this inning with a double, 27th of the year. Trout pulls one over to third. Beltre has it. One out. Unable to advance Ibar. Here comes Mark Trumbo.
Let's take a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind. Bottom of the first, 2 on. Mark Trumbo, after hitting his 30th home run last night, rushes his 31st. 107.8 hit speed off the bat. For Trumbo, well, he crushed that baseball. He's on one of his patented hot streaks right now. Well, Holland did a nice job as far as pitching Trout. Stayed inside, forced him to hit a ground ball to that side of the infield and not allowing Eric Ibar to advance to third.
Trumbo looks at a strike. Two-run shot for Trumbo in that first inning. 89 runs batted in now. Pulls this one foul. 0-2 count. Career high for runs batted in for Trumbo last year, 95. Home run totals as well, 32 last season. Still with 3 weeks left to go in the season. One ball, two strikes. Texas with solo runs in the first and second innings. The Angels with 3 in the first and 1 in the second.
Some good hitters yard to hit into this upcoming road trip, especially down in Houston, Toronto. That is a hitter's paradise.
Often overlooked, it seems like. He talks about Texas with the jet stream, the White Sox. And that is pulled down the left field line. If it's fair, it might be gone, and that is foul. Adrian Johnson with the call. Helped out by Adrian Beltre. Now Mike Scioscia is going to go out and might even get a replay here or not. But
see if the baseball ever goes around. No, clearly a foul ball.
Yep.
Yeah, if you see the baseball going down the line and all of a sudden it disappears, that means it went around the foul pole. But there, clearly, you can see it all the way past the pole and being fouled.
Oh, there is going to be a stoppage at play here. So they're going to go on down and check it out. Ruling on the field should stand. So while we await the return of the three umpires, I want to remind you that on September 22nd, it's Fan Appreciation Day. The Angels take on the Seattle Mariners. 12:35 start that Sunday. Fans in attendance will receive an Angels team photo courtesy of Fox Sports West and chances to win great prizes. Be sure to purchase your tickets today at the Angels Stadium ticket office or by logging on at angels.com.
Well, this should be pretty quick. But still, even having that thought process for Mike Scioscia, having this delay for Derek Holland, maybe that delay may force him to make a bad pitch. He certainly hasn't been throwing anything here to A.J. Brzezinski's out there having a conversation.
Oh, that Holland called in Profar to talk things over with him quickly. So maybe stays away from him this time on the outside part of the plate.
He's trying to stay in on him.
Umpires are back. Clearly a foul ball. So the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ibar back at second.
That's why instant replay was put in place, just to make sure you get it right. And the umpires got it right from the get-go.
This is where that fifth man in the booth would be so perfect. In that.
Yeah, you could see that right. Adrian Johnson was right there in position to make the call, and he was right. But if you have someone in a booth or somewhere sitting around the stadium, you can tell them right away, just point down saying foul. Especially when you can see that for sure.
And he strikes him out swinging with a fastball. 2 down. Second strikeout of the night for Holland.
Boy, he went inside with a good fastball. Right down the inside part of the plate. Belt high. Firm though at 95 from Holland.
So 2 outs and a man in scoring position. Josh Hamilton at the plate. Josh was sawed off in the first inning and grounded out. He's 0 for 1.
Hamilton 3 for 10 against Holland in his career. Holland pitches Hamilton away a lot. Hamilton will take a little flare to left.
Good location on that fastball. One down and in.
It's going back-to-back fastballs, 2-seam fastballs inside against Hamilton. And again inside. Talked about that in the beginning. Holland pitches inside very well against lefties and righties.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The leadoff double still standing at second. That's Eric Ibar. Upstairs, full count.
With the 3 straight fastballs inside, went a fastball away.
There's the payoff. Hamilton just got a piece of it. The inning continues. It'll be Chris Iannetta, who's batting in the 6th spot tonight. And he walked him, so Iannetta will get an opportunity here. That's the first walk issued by Holland. Go with the 2 strikeouts. Just the 3 hits allowed, and now Mike Maddox is going to come out and pay a visit. 46 pitches thrown by the lefty. 29 have been strikes. And he really does look like Frank Zappa. Greg Maddox's brother is here as well in the uniform, assistant to the general manager. Now the 2nd season with the Rangers. See what Iannetta can do here with 1st and 2nd occupied, 2 outs. 4-2. Angels on top here, the 3rd. That was the pitch that got Iannetta out in the 1st inning. Long speed pitch, hit it off the end of the bat, and Holland picked it up, I should say, and threw him out.
He remembered that, went right back with a changeup away. Smart decision by Holland. Didn't get the call. That was a pretty good pitch.
2-0. Oh, pardon me. 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch was a little bit low. Iannetta didn't agree with it, that's for sure.
Back-to-back changeups away.
Two balls and 1 strike. This is pulled toward the hole. Andrews can't come up with it. Ibar being waved around. Here comes a throw from David Murphy, and it's an RBI single for Chris Iannetta, 5-2 Angels.
Nice job by Chris Iannetta picking up Eric Ibar, who led off the inning with a double, still at second base with 2 outs, but the walk by Hamilton, now base hit by Iannetta, brings home Ibar. His hands inside after a couple tough pitches away with changeups. Eric Ibar cuts that corner, gets in there safely with the 5th run of the game for the Halos here. We're only in the 3rd inning.
There's Colin Cowgill, who reached on the air by Elvis Andrews leading off the 2nd, was thrown out at the plate. Tried to score on the Jimenez double. Hamilton at 2nd and Iannetta at 1st. And for Chris, it's his 33rd run batted in.
Pretty good hack there. 1-0 fastball, got a 94 mile an hour fastball, fell it straight back. Boy, a lot of action against Holland. The defense certainly hasn't helped him out a whole lot tonight, with 3 errors behind him, including 1 by himself.
Another fastball fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you got to believe Calgill's either going to get a fastball in off the plate or a changeup away.
Calgill strikes out swinging. And the Angels bottom of the 3rd. Comes to an end, but they do pick up a run on a couple of hits. Leave 2 men on. Lead it now 5-2. Night, although rather warm and slightly muggy, not as muggy as we've had here the last couple of days. Most American League West title since '95, and Texas Rangers have played very good baseball here over the last several seasons now.
Angels with 5, Rangers with 5, Oakland with 5. And Oakland and the Rangers right now battling out. Not a lot of separation between the two. Just a game at this point with Oakland winning earlier.
Not only that, Tampa Bay losing again. Seattle up 3-0. That game's in the 4th inning. Chris Archer got the start for the Rays. Alex Rios looks at a strike to start off this 4th inning. It'll be Rios, Moreland, and Murphy.
But don't you just feel that play-in game is going to come into effect this year as far as who's going to get that second wild card?
Breaking ball missed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, the Rangers have a very difficult schedule to finish off the season.
One and 2. Baltimore's playing pretty good baseball. Cleveland still in the mix. Kansas City still in the mix.
Boy, the Yankees looked like they were in position to make a run, but then all of a sudden they've fallen back, even though they're only 3 out. I think the number of teams you have to leapfrog to get in that position.
Ground ball to short. 1 out. Rios 0 for 2 on the night. That'll bring up Mitch Moreland. The next 3 weeks will be a lot of fun, especially in the American League. There's so many teams bunched up there.
8 outs via the ground ball for Richards tonight so far. And no punch outs yet, but he's not a true strikeout pitcher. He has great stuff, electric stuff, but the majority of his pitches are down in the strike zone, so he's more of a guy that's going to get slow ground balls in the infield.
If he gets pitches 2 and 3 locked in with mechanics Those strikeouts should go up, right?
Exactly, because he's going to learn at some point to be able to even change speeds with his slider. His slider, when he's ahead of the count, is unhittable. But when he's behind the count, it's difficult for a hitter to chase that pitch. But they have no choice when Garrett's ahead of the count.
Marlin, the first baseman, grounded out to Green. That was a fantastic diving stop. Grant playing him to pull, and that's why he had to go far to his right the last time. 1-2. There's that pitch you were talking about.
Well, it's almost as if it looks like it's a curveball, but that's his slider. Now you would think he's going to go breaking ball again here. He can even expand the strike zone and bounce it if he wants.
Moreland goes down swinging. There's the first strikeout of the night. 2 outs here in the fourth.
It's that hard slider down and in. Head of the count so he can bounce it. Gets Moreland to swing at it. Boy, that sharp, tight rotation of his slider. Always looks inviting for a left-handed hitter. And all of a sudden that ball's in the dirt. Unable to make contact.
David Murphy, the left fielder, grounded out to short in the second innings. He's 0 for 1. Two runs, 5 hits, 3 errors, and 3 left on for Texas. 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, 2 left on for the Angels. And now Garrett has fallen behind after getting 2 outs. 3 balls, no strikes. Took a little off, get it over fastball.
That's another pitch that you would love to see Garrett feel more comfortable with, especially certain counts, certain points of the game. You could throw that pitch 92, 93 on the outside corner, keep it away against the lefty. Yeah, they may get an occasional hit, but they're not going to square it up, and it allows him to get ahead of the count. Then he can throw his nasty fastball at 95, 96, and finish him off with his slider.
3-2. Little bouncer up the first base line. Trumbo fields it near the bag. That's a fair ball on a 1-2-3 inning for Garrett. First time he's done that tonight. At the bottom of the fourth, Halos have 8, 9, and 1 coming up, still on top. 1-800-PICK-AT&T. Rethink possible. By CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. And by Toyota's nationwide clearance event. Now you can save big on every Toyota car, truck, and SUV. Take a look at the line that Derek Holland has featured so far tonight through 3 innings. 54 pitches, 4 hits, 5 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 3 errors behind him. Jimenez lays off the breaking ball. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Luis doubled and scored in the second. One ball, 1 strike. One and 2.
Jimenez has seen a curveball and a slider in this at bat so far. Even a changeup. A variety of all speed.
Just got a piece of it. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Grant Green on deck, and then J.B. Shuck. 3 strikeouts, 1 walk for Holland. 2-2. Double that Luis hit in the second inning. The fastball up and in. Pulled it into the left field corner. That was the play in which Calgill was thrown out, trying to score from first on.
Well, he's seen a lot of off speed in this at bat. Not 1 fastball yet.
Two. That hit him. Trying to come back inside.
See where it ended up getting him. In on the hand. Rick Smith, Mike Socha, Alfredo Griffin, all in conversation. Anytime you get hit in the hand as a hitter, you always have concern about those hands. Small bones in the hand.
Halos have had their leadoff man reached in all 4 innings now. 2 errors, a double, now a hit by pitch.
Frank Greenwald asked us. Bunt Jimenez over. Around the palm, wrist, thumb area with his right hand.
Grant Green takes inside. He had a sacrifice fly in the second inning, picking up his 9th RBI. Good crowd once again tonight. Last night, 39,591. Rangers in town. 1-2. Tomorrow wraps up the 7-game homestand, and it's out of the road for 10 games. Back home for 6, and then 4 after that on the road to finish up the regular season. Great, fouled it. Slow breaking pitch. Keeps the count of the ball at 2 strikes.
Seeing more and more breaking pitches this inning from Holland. There's a little over 60% of his pitches are fastballs.
Throw to first, and Hannah's picked off. Racing back toward first, gets tagged down, 1 out.
Talked about that good move that Derek Holland has. This is his 4th pickoff this season alone. 20th now in his career. Boy, at this spot though, with nothing going on. Boy, trying to get a secondary lead, didn't really pay attention to Holland's throw over the first. He's got a very good move.
One, two. Green pops it up. Rich Moreland, the first baseman, camped underneath him. 2 outs. Fans, make sure to check out the all-new 2014 Chevy Silverado that comes with an available 5.3-liter engine. Offers the best V8 fuel economy of any 2-wheel drive pickup. Visit your local Chevy Silverado dealer today for all the latest offers and details. 2 outs, nobody on for J.B. Shuck. Reached on the error by Holland and scored the first inning. And then struck out in the second. Two and 0. There's a strike. JB's held his own against left-handed pitching this year. Matter of fact, he's hit better against left-handed pitching than he has right. 307 against lefties.
He does a good job of just making contact. He's serving the ball on the left, and they try to go inside. He's been able to get that ground ball between first and second in that hole there.
285 average against right-handed pitching. 3-1 pitch. That's a strike. Full count. If he thought he had himself a walk. High bar on deck. This is lifted to left. Murphy's there. And we played 4 here at the Big A. Angels maintaining a 5-2 lead.
Whiff. There's Richards. Nasty slider. Gets Fishmore to swing it over top. Good mechanics. Good follow through. Snap on the slider. Gets the 1 punch out of the game for Garrett Richards. He's got 9 outs via the ground ball so far in the game. He's kept the ball down. That 1 punch out against Moreland.
Garrett Richards, 67 pitches through 4 innings. 2 runs, 1 earned, has 1 strikeout, no walks, coming off his one and only 1-2-3 frame. And here in the 5th inning, Texas will set up 9-1-2. Martin and Profar
and Andrews. Mena's in on the grass at third as Martin takes the fastball high. Martinez 1 for 1. Center fielder singled into second, stole second base, and scored on the base hit by Profar. All with 2 outs. Two balls and 1 strike. Still trying to get that breaking pitch on the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, sometimes the release for him on the slide a little bit different, inconsistent. We'll get there in time, though.
Check some foul. Profar on deck. 2-2 count here to lead off man Leonys Martin. Full count.
Baseball looked like it slipped out of the hand of Garrett Richards. I think that was designed to be a slider.
And a leadoff walk. First issued. Figure Martin might be on the move here. 2 stolen bases already. Martin has one. Profar has one.
You're dealing with a lot of speed now at this part of the lineup for the Rangers. Martin now at first. Profar at the plate, followed by Andrews in the on-deck circle.
Profar getting to start at second base tonight. Kinsler serving as a DH. Native of Curacao. 1 for 2 with a base hit and an RBI. Picked up his 25th run batted in the second. Also picked up his second stolen base.
Martin generally likes to go on first pitch. Step off first from Richards, then a throw over.
Profar looks at a strike. Texas with 5 hits, the Angels with 4. 4 errors combined. Texas with 3, the Halos with 1. That, by the way, was Gary Pettis flashing the signs at third base for Texas. Oh, 2 counts. This one's lifted foul and out of play on the third base side. .75 pitches thrown by Garrett. 1 strikeout, 1 walk. 0-2. Outside. And again, and I know we've talked about it, especially over the last couple of starts for Garrett, that those type of pitches, these ones that get away from him, whether it's mechanics or slipping out of the hand, are the ones that get these hitters to just look for that one pitch, that fastball.
Yeah, they can look. Right now, if you're Profar, you're just looking nothing but a fastball.
Martin takes off. The pitch is down low. The throw to second, and that is not in time. A stolen base. Scioscia's going to come out and argue. Jordan Baker, the second base umpire, with the call. The throw looked like it beat him there. This goes to where he applied the tag.
See if the tag was applied on Martin.
Got him in the knee and then in the chest, right?
Look, he got him before the foot got to the base. Better angle here, maybe.
One.
No, right on the knee.
Yeah, in the chest.
I mean, there's no doubt.
So 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Martin picks up his second stolen base. And down goes Profar for the first down.
A good fastball there, 94 inside corner. Boy, a true 4-seam fastball. You get a barrier look to second base. You see Grant Green put a pickoff on. Although Garrett hasn't really figured that out as far as that spin move back to second, throws across his body. It's a difficult throw for him if indeed he does try a pickoff at second.
Anders 1 for 2 tonight with a single, a run scored, and a ground out. Rolled out to Eric Ibar into second inning. Amanda is just about even with the bang at third base. 2-0. Looks like Martin wanted to go and ended up stopping at second base.
Garrett, you look back 2, even 3 times. Just make sure Martin stops.
Two and 1. Ground ball to short. 2 outs. Keeping Martin at second base. Here comes Ian Kinsler with 2 outs.
So the focus continues to be there for Richards. Very difficult hitter here in Kinsler. And 2 big outs. Profar swinging. Andrews grounding out to Eric Ibar. If you're not through the inning yet, you got to keep that focus. Don't let down.
Kinsler's been on board twice, a fielder's choice in the first inning and a single in the third. The Angels with 3 runs in the first, solo runs in the second and third inning, leading 5-2 here in the 5th inning. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner.
That's one pitch you don't want to throw again to Kinsler. A backup slider on the inner half. Good pitch, a slider down and away. The inner half, dangerous.
This one's out to center. John a couple of steps to his left, makes the grab. Nice job by Garrett working around that lead-off walk. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. The Halos have Ibar, Trout, and Trumbo coming up, leading at 5-2. reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Eric Ibar ready to lead things off for the Halos here in the 5th inning. 5-2, Angels lead it. Ibar 1 for 1, had a sacrifice bunt in the 1st inning, doubled and scored in the 3rd. Double coming as the leadoff man in the 3rd inning. This is 27th of the season.
Ancient defense for the Rangers. You got Beltre was playing in. You had Marlin playing in, and Profar came in from his second base position because Ibar was going to try to push to the right side, especially with a lefty on the mound falling towards third base.
Beltre still playing it at 3rd. Off speed is low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's a wise decision when you think about setting up your defense against a guy with good speed who can push a bunt to the right side as a second baseman. Come in off your normal position, cut down that angle.
Bounce to 3rd. Beltre has it. 1 out. So up steps Trout. 0 for 2 tonight. Trout reached on the air by Beltre in the 1st and scored, and then grounded out to Beltre. 3rd inning. Trout loops one in the air on the right side. Profar, the second baseman, puts it away for the 2nd out. So here's Trumbo. The base is clear.
Home run back in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd on a fastball inside. After almost hit his 2nd home run, just pulled it just foul. That would end up being reviewed and ruled foul.
So fastball down low. Holland with 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 4 hits allowed, including that home run to Trumbo in the 1st inning. This one back. Mark now with 31 home runs and 89 RBIs. Little bouncer over to 2nd. Profar moves over. Holland has himself his first 1-2-3 inning. 5 complete here at the Big A. The Angels leading at 5-0.
Angels scored one to tie. 2-run home run. You know, 3-1 in the first, and then Garrett Richards, at this point forward, starting to mix and match. Good slider, good velocity on this fastball. Through 5. Helping the Angels lead the Texas Rangers 5-2. Mammoth home run for Mark Trumbo. Back-to-back games, 5 RBIs in this series against the Rangers so far for Trumbo.
Got the playoff beard working.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
The late charge playoff beard.
That's it. Here in the 6th inning, Beltre, Brzezinski, and Rios. I don't think I've ever seen him with a beard.
I said that to him yesterday, too, walking in the dugout. Just gave me a look. Yeah, I need something going right now. I said, all right. I believe in you.
Beltre swings the first one. Jimenez picks it cleanly. One third baseman retires another. There's the first out. Yeah, back a couple of innings ago, we were talking about was it David Murphy that ended up getting into a 3-0 count on Garrett after he retired the first 2 guys. And the discussion at that point was, instead, get it over fastball. Our conversation continued off the air, but you need some one-pitch outs. You need guys off balance, and it doesn't have to be 95 every time.
Yeah, like we were talking about, I think there's about 5 or 6 times during the course of the game, as a pitcher, if you want to be able to be in there in that 7th, 8th, and 9th inning, you have to take a little bit off the fastball and get it quick out. 5 or so one-pitch outs allows you to save your best fastball when you need it. When there's a guy on third, you have to bust somebody inside with a fastball or get that hard slider down and in. The importance of getting those quick outs, important, and I think that's what Garrett's going to learn. Hey, 92, 93 is still firm, but it's going to have movement, and it's going to get the hitter out in front enough where he'll get some quick outs.
It's all about disrupting the timing.
Worked for CJ yesterday on Beltre.
Yeah.
Just slight hesitation.
Off-speed pitch. That is ripped into right center field. A 1-out single for Brzezinski.
And now it's time for our Carl's Jr. sports update around the majors. What's happening in Cincy? Cincinnati wins the first 2 games of the series against the Dodgers on Joe Morgan Day. Bronze statue in Cincinnati. Joe Morgan, and they win that in 10th inning, Cincinnati does. And 8, not enough for the Yanks. 3 games in a row in which they've scored 8 or more runs against the Red Sox, yet have lost all 3 games.
Wow. What's happening?
Hard to believe. What's happening. Joe Morgan. Statue in Cincy.
Rios takes down low. 1 ball, no strikes. 0 for 2 tonight with a ground down and a foul ball out. Pop him. It was back in the first inning. Pretty good pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. Top of foul.
Rios has grounded into 15 double plays this season. Richards gotten 1 so far in the game. Adrian Beltre's rolled into a 5-4-3 double play. Richards has got a lot of ground balls in this game.
2-1. Rios hits one right to Grant Green. Feeds Ibar for 1. Relay to first in time, and again the double play. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Angels leading at 5-2.
At a Calgill coming up. Let's take a look and revisit our Hyundai key to the game.
At the motion, putting pressure on the defense for the Rangers, it certainly has worked. Texas has committed 3 errors, leading to 4 unearned runs against Derek Holland. A mistake made to Mark Trumbo, but again, you got to continue to press the issue against Texas. Force them to make plays, take that extra base when you're presented that opportunity.
Hamilton looks at a fastball for a strike. Josh tonight 0 for 1, a ground out and a walk. That'll even up the count. This is pulled through the right side, a base hit. Trying to come back inside with another fastball. And the Angels have the leadoff man on to start the 6th.
And when he's able to run that one down and in, it's been effective against Hamilton, but that one was elevated enough. He was able to get his hands through the baseball and drive that ball through the hole. First and second, not easy to do with that shift on. Hits so hard, gets into that outfield grass quickly.
And that is 1 for 2, an RBI single in the 3rd inning. Pulls this one down the line, hits the bag and into left field. Hamilton stays between 2nd and 3rd. He thought about it, but there was some coverage with Holland and Andrews. A single for Chris Iannetta.
Yeah, wise decision by Hamilton to stay put. Oh, right off the base. Retrieved well by Beltre. Came inside again, right down the line off the base. Deflected high. And Beltre took a look exactly where Hamilton may go. Well backed up by Derek Holland. Wasn't a spectator, got the 3rd base along with Elvis Andrews.
Colin Calgill 0 for 2 tonight. Rangers looking for the bunt. 1-0. Not easy to do to last minute show bunt and then take a pitch, that firm fastball that was down.
Exactly. You're asked to square around, get down a little sooner. You may see a pickoff put on here. Texas trying to keep Hamilton close. The importance of getting the runner at 3rd base for Ron Washington. He'll do whatever he can to keep it close as far as a secondary lead for Hamilton.
Two balls, no strikes. Dino Abel down the line and talking things over with Collins. Texas took a 1-0 lead in the 1st inning. Halos answered with 3 in the bottom of the 1st. 2 errors. Big home run by Trumbo. Texas got one of those runs back in the 2nd. The Angels answered with a run of their own and another one in the 3rd. 5-2. That's where we stand now here at the bottom of the 6th. First 2 have reached via the single. Fouls this one back. Two balls and 1 strike now. Now showing Button dead that one beautifully. Only plays to 1st. They get Calgill.
for the out. Sacrifice advances Hamilton to third. Knight headed to second.
Great job by Calgill on that one. Can't bunt it any better than that. Forcing Brzezinski to make the play. 2-1 count. Well, very good. That's a tough pitch too, but it was a fastball that's down. Much easier to get down on the ground. Hustles down the line, makes it a close play, but the job is done.
So Luis Jimenez steps up with 2 on, 1 out. Infield in for Texas. Luis a double in the second, hit by a pitch in the fourth.
Probably see something inside here. Ideally, as a pitcher, with a man on third, second, and third in this spot, infield in, you're going to try to stay hard in, whether it's a slider or a fastball in.
Boy, that's a pitch right there. He looks for that pitch. That's when you can kind of hook or lift.
Yeah, as a hitter, that's what you have to think in terms. You got to look inside. Well, you get your hands tucked in, you can get that ball in the air and hook it right down the line, like you said, Victor.
1-1. High fastball, 1-2. Just got a piece of it. Grant Green on deck. Hamilton standing at third, Inett at second, both with singles in the 6th inning. Sacrificed by Calgill. The 1-2 down low. '90 pitches thrown by Holland now. Jason Frazier, the veteran right-hander, getting ready for Texas. Frazier's done a nice job for that bullpen.
Certainly a guy that will give you a lot of innings and appearances out of the bullpen.
2-2. Jimenez strikes out on the breaking ball. 2 outs. Strikeout number 4 for Holland. Now it's up to Green.
Stayed in, hard in with a slider.
Grant Green with a sac fly in the second inning and a pop up in the fourth. Oh, and 1.
Holland back in that slider mode. He bounced one here. He's thrown 9 wild pitches this season.
And that's been the pattern right there. Off speed to fastball, back to off speed. There's the 0-2. Down in the dirt. Nice block by Brzezinski. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Both teams with 6 hits tonight. Texas is stranded 4. The Angels have left 2 on. They have 2 currently in scoring position.
Well, Brzezinski, you know, we always talk about his offense, but his defense has been pretty solid. He's a guy that plays a lot of games behind the plate. He recognized with Holland, he's going to throw a slider. He's going to throw it in the dirt ahead of the count 0-2. He was in position to keep that ball in front of him.
Another one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2. Inside with a fastball. Full count. J.B. Shuck on deck.
With lefty on deck, I don't think Holland is necessarily going to give Grant Green a fastball. He might go right ahead again with a slider down and in. 4 full counts in the game for Holland. With 96 pitches now.
Off speed, hooked down the left field line. That is a fair ball. 2 runs coming in to score. Green at second with a double. 7-2 Angels.
Fifth double of the season, now 10 RBI for Grant Green. Got that slider, this one flattened out for Holland. Grant Green tracked a number of those hard sliders when he was behind the count in the dirt. This one, too much to the plate, hooks it down the line, just inside the chalk. Big double, 2-run double for Grant Green and the Angels.
Top of the order now, J.B. Shuck. Double for Green, his 5th. Now with 10 RBIs on the season. J.B. swings through the first one. 0-1. He's 0 for 3 tonight. Reached on the error of the first inning. A strikeout in the second. A fly to left in the fourth. 7-2 Angels here in the 6th inning. Oh, 1 pitch. This is fouled back. .100 pitch of the night for Holland, misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
.22 pitches thrown in this inning, 26 back in the 3rd.
With a bouncer foul. Green's double, just a second hit tonight for the Angels. LeMan in scoring position, 2 for 6. Made him count though. Off speed, did he go? No. Adrian Johnson, the third base umpire, says he did not. So we're evened up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Frazier just standing out of the Angels bullpen, ready to go. Eric Ibar, if this inning continues, will come to the plate. This is sharply hit, pass profile to right center to bring in another run. JB is going to try to go to second. The throw is not in time. It pulled Andrews off the bag. And JB's able to get in there with an RBI double, and that's 8-2 Angels.
We talked about the need against this Ranger club and Derek Holland to take that extra base, take that chance. JB got into scoring position, especially with 2 outs. It's a good decision to make. Washington's going to make that walk out and probably get down to Frazier now. Well hit, another quality at bat against a left-handed pitcher for JB Shuck. Out of the batter's box, he was thinking double all the way through. 18th double the season, 38th RBI for JB Shuck.
So Derek Holland is done here with 2 outs in the 6th inning, goes 5 2/3. We've got ourselves a pitching change. Jason Frazier, the veteran's coming on with the Angels, leading it now 8-2. Holland done after 5 2/3, 8 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's responsible for Shuck standing at second base. So in and out, who's in, who's out. Holland done. Jason Frazier on in relief, and Frazier be the 50th game he has pitched in this season.
Yeah, fastball is 90 to 94. Good slider and solid split finger fastball. 42 strikeouts and 41 in the third innings pitched. Only 13 walks. Solid ERA, 2.61 for Frazier.
Ivar will spin around to hit from the left side for the first time tonight. 1 for 2. Sac bunt, a double, and a ground out. Chuck, by the way, picking up his 38th run batted in. The double his 18th. He stands at second with 2 outs. Ivar, the 7th man to bat in this inning. 0-1. No balls, 2 strikes. Off speed pitch. Double that Ivar had leading off the third inning, his 27th of the year. Scored the Angels' 5th run. The Ionetta base hit. That came with 2 outs. Fouls this one off. So the count for me. No balls, 2 strikes. Jason Menace will be headed to the clubhouse for the night.
He didn't look real comfortable in his last at bat. Even to throw across the diamond, top half of the inning was a difficult one for him after getting hit by a pitch in the hand.
Down in the dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I wonder if Romine come in and play some third.
You think that'd be the ideal, and he's getting stretched out right now. We saw in spring training with Andrew Romine playing a number of infield positions.
One, 2. Ivar pulls it foul. 3 runs in for the Angels here in the 6th inning. All 3 with 2 outs. Double by Grant Green. And 2 runs batted in to J.B. Shuck for the hustle double. RBI for him. Frazier now ready. This is popped up. Adrian Beltre, third baseman, in a couple of steps. And the Angels half of the 6th inning is in the books, but not before they drop a 3 spot. We've played 6. It's an 8-2 Angels lead.
by Jack's Really Big Chicken Sandwich Combos for only $3.99 plus tax. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box today. And by Chase. Send money to almost anyone, anywhere with your smartphone. Chase, quick pay, so you can. Halos on top 8-2 as we start the top of the 7th inning. New third baseman for the Angels is indeed Andrew Romine, taking over for Luis Jimenez. And if and when we get an update from the Angels clubhouse, we will certainly pass it along to you on the status of Luis Jimenez.
It's the fourth game that Andrew Romine has played some third base.
We're being told that Luis has departed this game with a right thumb contusion. So that would lead you to believe was on the hit by pitch back in the 4th inning. Fortunately, it's nothing to do with the shoulder, that slide that he had at the plate.
That was a tough one too. And then get hit in the thumb with that fastball from Derek Holland. You can just tell by his last at bat, because there was a couple pitches in that inside part of the plate where Louis usually crushes, but didn't really feel comfortable attacking the baseball.
One to Moreland outside. 2 balls and a strike. Moreland, Murphy, and Martin. Just what happened to Jimenez back in the 4th inning.
Well, you can tell just by his reaction. Got him good on the thumb area.
3 balls and a strike. You know what may have saved him even more so, or even possibly further damage, the fact that he's got one of those pads that he wears on his thumb. The bat sits on that between your forefinger and your thumb. Some guys like that padding.
Yes, you hope it absorbs some of that energy from the fastball in.
Full count. Moreland tonight 0 for 2, a ground out. That was in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. Joakim Soria now getting ready for Texas. Former Royals closer. David Murphy on deck. 3-2 on the way. Moreland taps a foul. Reset and do it again. Texas tonight with 6 hits, but they committed 3 errors early on. And came back to haunt Derek Holland and the Rangers. The Angels making the most of those opportunities. Swing and a miss. A good movement on a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Down goes Moreland for the first out. We revisit our AT&T Twitter poll question of the series. Which celebrity lookalike is a closer match? And still, Mike Maddox and Frank Zappa leading the way.
It'll be a tough one to come back if you're Hamilton or Trout. Maddox, Frank Zappa.
Murphy looks at a strike on an off-speed pitch. The left fielder's 0 for 2. Ground out to short, and the ground out to first.
Richards now at 100 pitches thrown. You'll be able to see him get through this inning. More likely that'll be his last inning.
Two balls and a strike. Check swing foul.
Uncle Khan getting loose. Won't take long to get loose tonight. Warm night.
Two. Swing and a miss. Down goes Murph. Back-to-back punch-outs. 2 down.
That's amazing. That's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. If you're a hitter, especially a left-handed hitter, you think this is almost a slider. Starts inside corner, and it's almost behind him by the time he swings. It's almost in the back leg. see that type of movement too often with a fastball, especially at 95. Cut action. It's a swing and miss.
Striking at the knees on Leonis Martin, the center fielder. 1 for 1 with a walk and a single.
Let's see if Garrett can finish off his night by striking out the side here in the 7th.
Tap foul. Count remains at 0-2.
Iannetta wants this pitch in the dirt.
Breaking pitch rolled over. Still at no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you almost want to see him if he's going to throw that 95-mile-an-hour cut fastball like the one he threw to David Murphy to strike him out. Right at this point, especially after a slow curveball, Gene tracked. Difficult to catch up to 95 inside.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Leonis Martin. Most pitches thrown by Garrett this year at a start. 111. That was back on April 30th. Game got knocked around by Oakland.
And back with another slider.
Oh, he got him. How about that to finish off his 7th inning? 3 punch outs. Finishes with 5 on the night. Mike Trout ready to lead things off the bottom of the 7th. The Angels still on top. Congratulations. We start at the bottom of the 7th inning. I want to remind you that MLB.TV is celebrating its 11th year. Keep up with the pennant races and catch the rest of the 2013 season in HD quality. Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 350 mobile and connected devices. Visit MLB.TV today.
Boy, that's how you pitch. Garrett Richards finished off his night with punching out the side. 7 innings thrown for Richards. 5th time he's done that. The season as a starter. Joaquin Soria in the game now for the Rangers. Fastball 88 to 93 range. Slider, curveball, changeup.
Trout 0 for 3 tonight. It's on an error. He's grounded down and he's popped out. All three, I should say, of those plate appearances against Derek Holland. Fouled off to the right. No balls, 2 strikes. Derek Holland, by the way, tonight 5 2/3, 8 runs, 4 earned, 8 hits, 4 strikeouts.
Well, the conversation still going on between Mike Butcher, Garrett Richards, still the learning process. Or that fastball. That one he struck out David Murphy was outstanding. 95.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Fielder Colbert over at first base. He'll be behind the plate tomorrow. And for Richards, 13th start of the year. 5th time he's gone at least 7 innings.
That's impressive. He's strong. Again, once he figures out on occasion to get the little 92-mile-an-hour fastball to get a quick out, he's going to be going 9 innings. He has a complete game this year also.
Especially if he doesn't. He finally figured it out over the last couple of innings, the breaking ball. When you don't have that going early on, might as well. It's kind of like Weaver throwing that BP fastball.
Yeah, it works.
It works.
Because hitters like the fastball, but if you can get that one with a little bit less velocity on there out in front, and you can get him out easily.
Lead off walk to Trout, puts a man on for Mark Trumbo. Trumbo tonight 1 for 3. Foul back. 0-2 count on Trumbo. Angels have Corey Rasmus getting ready in the bullpen.
Certainly looked like it was definitely the end of the night for Richards. Rasmus coming in here top of the 8th. Throwing the ball well. Trusting his fastball also.
Breaking pitch, and that is lined into center field. So the Angels, just like the 6th inning, had their first 2 men on board to start the 7th. Josh Hamilton coming up, 1 for 2. Ground down, a walk and a base hit. Soria pitching just for the 17th time this year in the big leagues. Had Tommy John surgery last year. Signing with Texas in the offseason. Signed a 2-year deal with a club option.
former All-Star closer with the Royals.
One 1-0 pitch. This is lifted foul and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Beltre off the line at third, and Andrews shading Hamilton toward the middle. Corey Burns getting ready in the bullpen for Texas. Runners take off. The pitch is down low. Brzezinski loses the handle, so a double steal. .32nd stolen base of the year for Trout.
Good jumps, especially by Trout. Soria very deliberate to the plate. Good jump now, 2 in scoring position for Hamilton, bringing the infield in, it looks like.
5th stolen base for Trumbo. 2 ball, 1 strike count. And skied down the right field line, but foul. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the breaking pitch gets him. 1 out. Intentional walk now to Dianetta. Load him up for Colin Cowgill. You can also go to Cole Calhoun. Here's ball 4. Cowgill being called back. Burns in the bullpen's a right-hander. Now Mike Mannix is going to come out. And Mannix just wondered, making sure with Bill Welke that Calhoun is now official and has been introduced. Go probably give him the scouting report on how to pitch him with the bases loaded here. 1 out as the Angels try to tack on. You just never know with Texas the way they've been swinging the bat against the Angels this year. You need all the runs that you can get.
Pretty interesting decision though, with 2nd and 3rd infield in. Hamilton, a left-handed batter up. You pitch to him, finish him off with a breaking ball, and then you walk Chris Dianetta, a right-handed batter.
Cowgill finishes the night going 0 for 2. Cole Calhoun hitting .265 in 36 games with the Angels this year. 5 home runs, 19 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, 0 for 3. As Trout standing at third base, Trumbo at second, Iannetta at first. 8-2 Angels here in 7th. Took a shot at that first pitch fastball.
It's You won coming off the bench. You hope for a fastball and you get one.
This is looped out to shallow center. Elvis Andrews backs out. They call it an infield fly rule. 2 outs. Almost able to wedge it out to shallow center field for a base hit. Off speed pitch. That'll bring up Andrew Romine.
Well, off the bat, I thought for sure that was going to be able to fall into that outfield grass. Andrews able to get back, catch it.
First plate appearance for Romine. Defensive replacement for Jimenez. He fouls back to first one. Romine's played in 27 games now with the Angels this year. .250 average, has a double, 1 RBI. No balls, 2 strikes. Mentioned earlier that Oakland defeated Houston. 2-1 final in that one. Oakland at the start of the day had a half-game lead on Texas. Seattle beating up on Tampa Bay. Bottom of the 7th.
But Verlander losing again today for Detroit. Now 12-11. Pitched pretty well, but still unable to get a W.
4-2 Kansas City. Pardon me, 4-3 Kansas City won that one. Cleveland beat the Mets 9-4. Boston over the Yankees. Baltimore over the White Sox. Romine lofts it foul and out of play. Here it's 8-2. Angels had 3 runs in the first, solo runs in the second and third innings, and then 3 in the 6th. Texas, meanwhile, had solo runs the first 2 innings. Garrett Richards done for the night. 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk. Finished it off by striking out the side in the 7th. 2 balls, 2 strikes now. Rasmus will be coming on in the 8th inning with Texas having the top of their order coming up at Profar, Andrews, and Kinsler. Two. That's laced foul.
Pretty good battle here with Romine and Soria. Seven pitch at bat so far.
Breaking pitch, rolls this one over to first. Moreland will take it himself, and the Angels will leave him loaded. 7 complete here at the Big A. Halos on top 8-2.
brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. And by El Pollo Loco. Crazy you can take. Top of the 8th inning. Let's take a look at our Captain Morgan game reset with the Angels up 8-2. Garrett Richards 7 solid innings tonight, allowing 2 runs, 1 earned. Mark Trumbo 2-run home run in the first, his 31st of the season, and Grant Green 2-run double with 2 outs in the 6th. Halos on top here in the 8th inning as Mike Scioscia hands the ball off to Corey Rasmus.
6 punch outs and 6 2/3 fastball, 91-94. Very good slider, curveball. Very good movement on that fastball. Needs his trust that more.
He'll be facing the top of the order for Texas here in the 8th inning. Jurickson, Profar, Elvis Andrus, and Ian Kinsler. Cole Calhoun stays in the game as he pinch hit for Colin Cowgill. He's in right. Profar, the second baseman tonight, 1 for 3. Singled home a run in the 2nd inning. Also picked up his 2nd stolen base of the season. Rasmus delivers outside. Corey pitched last night, 1/3 of an inning. Came in and got Kinsler to bounce one back to the mound. Finish off the 7th inning. This one lifted out to left. J.B. Shuck comes in. 1 away.
Boy, it hasn't been a whole lot of action in the outfield as far as outfield outs. 13 ground ball outs for Richards, along with 5 punch outs.
Here's Elvis Andrus, the shortstop. 1 for 3 tonight. Single and a run scored back in the 1st inning. Running action on that fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hey, what? He has some good life on his fastball.
Two balls, 1 strike. Kinsler on deck. This series wraps up tomorrow at 12:35. Sunday afternoon baseball here. That is ripped into the left field corner, just like last night. This one's off the base of the wall. Andrews on his way to second. He has himself a double. Kind of jogging toward first as if he thought he had gotten his 3rd home run.
And well played by J.B. Shuck. Close. 17th double. Another fastball in the inner half and elevated. Those are the pitches he's hit well in this series. Again, fastball down and away, slider down and away, forced him to hit it the right field. Well played by JB.
So Kinsler will come up 1 for 3, a single back in the 3rd. Bouncer back toward the middle. Ibar to his left. 2 outs.
Boy, Ibar played that very well. That was not an easy play. Slow roller. Had to come in and then quick transfer to throw out Kinsler at first base. See, he's playing in the hole, and that's right over the mound. Well played by Ibar.
Beltran looks at a breaking pitch for a strike.
Boy,
No balls, 2
curveball,
strikes.
and then a hard, high fastball. Very good spot for that fastball from Rasmus because of the curveball the pitch before started up that same plane, then drops 9-6 on the break.
Got a piece of it, keep his at bat alive. Breaking pitch out to center. Hit well. Trout giving chase. And just shy of the track will make the catch. And we'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning at the big game with the Halos still up 8-2. Couple of changes for Texas to get ready to begin this bottom of the 8th inning. Adam Rosales, the former Oakland A / Texas Ranger / Oakland A and back to the Texas Ranger, takes over at third base for Beltre.
Probably ran back and forth between Oakland and Texas, the energy he has.
No doubt. That's Neftali Feliz. Back in the big leagues to Tommy John surgery last August. Guy that has talked about bouncing back and forth from closer to rotation, back and forth that he's had to have over the last couple of years. Good arm, and back in the big leagues now. Feliz just pitching in his 3rd game since returning to the major leagues.
So far trying to get that velocity back. 91-95 slider, very good changeup, throwing a lot more changeups since his return from Tommy John. Back in 2010, his average fastball a little over 96 miles an hour.
40 save season for Feliz that year. 32 saves the following season. Originally in the Braves system, and he was part of that big 7-player deal that involved Mark Teixeira. Feliz to face 9-1-2. Green, Schuck, and Ivar. Grant, the second baseman, tonight 1 for 2. Sac fly back in the 2nd inning to pop up in the 4th, and a 2 RBI double in the 6th. Soria, by the way, went 1 inning. 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 2 walks. 1 was intentional. Outing for Feliz on September the 1st, his first major league appearance since May 18th of last year at Houston. This was bounce foul. 1-2.
Well, a lot more changeups, and that was his changeup there.
This one back towards second, just underneath the glove of Feliz. Profar throws the first. Moreland able to keep the foot on the bag, 1 out.
At bat, 1 fastball, 2 sliders, and a changeup. A little different pitcher now. Trying to come back, regain that confidence to be able to throw his fastball.
Rookie of the year, I should say, back in 2010 with those 40 saves. There's J.B. Shock, 1 for 4, doubled his last time up. Double for Shuck, his 18th of the year. Eric Ibar on deck. Foul back to the screen. Jason Vargas and Nick Tepish, that afternoon contest ball. 2 starters tonight, the pitchers of record. There's Jason. Looking to bounce back after his last outing.
4 and 6 in his career versus the Rangers.
Popped up, right up the elevator shaft. By Brzezinski.
Boy, I'm sure you won't hear it here either.
That is an error on Brzezinski, his first of the year.
4th of the game for the Rangers. About the heel of the catcher's mitt. Unable to keep that in the glove.
And that's a base hit to right.
And that always happens. JB took advantage of that mistake. It's his 2nd hit of the game.
So Eric Ibar will bat with 1 out, 1 on. 2-hit game for JB. One ball, no strikes on Ibar tonight. 1 for 3. Double with a run scored in the 3rd. That is hit high and deep to right field. Rios moving back, stepping onto the track, makes the catch. 2 outs.
Ibar just missed that one. Would have been his 6th home run.
So 2 outs and a man on. Mike Trout gets an opportunity here in the 8th. Trout 0 for 3 tonight. Drew a walk leading off the 7th. Picked up a stolen base, his 32nd, but was stranded. Angels leaving the bases loaded in that 7th inning against Joaquin Soria. Count evened up. 1 ball, 1 strike.
40,558 tonight. One. Inside. 2 balls and a strike. Four errors tonight for Texas, a season high. But last time they had 4 errors out on the road was back in 2002. Came in tonight with 72 errors on the season. 2-1. This was fouled back.
And knowing Ron Washington, I think he's going to have something to say to his team after the game. There's games which you lose, but when you make 4 errors, put your team in position to give up some early runs with those mistakes. He's always make sure he has his team focused.
Started off with Holland. Very first batter he faced, J.B. Shuck. Fired it down the right field line. This is a base at the right field. So Trout picks up a knock. Shuck advances to second. Trumbo will come up once again with a couple of men on. Beltre had an error at the first inning, his 13th of the year. Andrews had an error in the second, his 13th, and Brzezinski here in the 8th inning, his first of the season. Two outs and 2 on. Here's Trumbo. Multi-hit game for him with a home run, a 2-run shot in the first inning, his 31st. Singled in the 7th, and he picked up a stolen base as well, his 5th. One and out. Trumbo now with 89 runs batted in on the year. And the 1-0. Fastball. Clocked at 95. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, at one point they had Alexio Gondo, Neftali Feliz coming out of the pen. That was just filth.
Yeah, I mean, you had no chance. If you didn't have a lead against them early on, it was over. Both moved back and forth, rotation, bullpen.
Yep.
And dealing with injuries since.
Gondo's had a couple of stints on the DL this year. Halos on top, 8-2 here in the 8th inning. Trumbo fouls it back. They got Brzezinski. Looks like Corey Rasmussen. Nope. So we had some action going in the Angels' pen. Corey pitching a scoreless 8th inning. Ryan Brazier getting ready. And now a full count. All right.
.22 pitches thrown now by Feliz.
Payoff pitch, runners go, and Trumbo pops it up. Moreland drifting over. And we will head to the 9th with the Angels leading it 8-2.
For tomorrow's finale, Nissan. Probables, Nick Tepesh, 4-6 with 4.67 versus Jason Vargas, 8-6 with a 3.80. Tepesh, fastball, on 89 to 93. There was a cut fastball, also curveball, and a changeup. Vargas looking to bounce back. Last start out, not as consistent for him, but last 5, 2-2 with an ERA. Pretty solid for Vargas. Get back to that fastball, changeup command.
Ryan Brazier on the mound for the Angels here in the 9th inning, trying to close it out. A.J. Przinsky will lead things off. Looks like Aducci has come out to the on-deck circle. He'll be pinch hitting for Rios. And Przinsky, first pitch swinging. Drives one out to deep right field, and it's 8-3. Rasmus still in the game. So Przinsky picks up his 17th of the year.
Has always been aggressive on first pitch fastball. Got one on the inner half. 17th home run, second hit of the game for Przinsky.
Jim Aducci pinch hitting now for Rios. Przinsky now 2 for 4 on the night. Aducci got into the game last night as a pinch hitter. Grounded out, leading off the 9th inning. 2 balls and no strikes.
Certainly don't want to give this Ranger club any life here.
Mike Butcher's going to go out now. Stick around after the last out. Angels Live post game. Presented by SoCal Mazda dealers. We'll break it all down for you. Tim Salmon will join me outside. You going to join us tonight? Or break down Garrett or no?
I might be in there for you.
Perhaps.
If you ask, you receive.
We got to wait to see how the format plays out. So I know you're always good for it.
Yeah.
Now we will see tomorrow. Drive home safe.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Kahn now warming up the pen. There's Michael.
Warmed up a little earlier in the game.
Garrett Richards tonight, 7 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned, 6 hits. Ducci bounces one through the left side. Back-to-back hits to start the 9th inning for Texas. We'll bring up Mitch Moreland. That's going to be it for Rasmus. So a pitching change here in the 9th with the Angels leading it 8-3. Nobody out and a man at first. Michael Kahn coming into the ball game. See if he can try to close this one out.
Mariners gave up a first pitch home run to A.J. Brzezinski and then gave up a base hit to Jim Adducci. The speedy man is over at first base. Michael Kahn now on in relief. He'll be facing Mitch Moreland once he is ready. 55th game now. 1-1 mark at 3.28 ERA. 23 walks, 45 strikeouts. Kahn last pitched on Thursday against the Rays. Went 1 inning, had 1 punch out in that one. Texas with 9 hits, the Angels with 11. Mitch Moreland 0 for 3 tonight with a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Kahn's first one is in for a strike.
Good velocity on that first pitch fastball, getting ahead of the count.
Bouncer foul, good off speed pitch. The ball's 2 strikes.
Trumbo playing behind Adducci, but still making him aware he's behind him, trying to keep him close. You want to create that opening between first and second. You want to make sure you still keep that double play in order.
Engel Beltres come out to the on-deck circle as Moreland goes down swinging, 1 out.
3rd time Moreland has struck out tonight. Slider, good slider. Changed speed on the slider there by Michael Kahn. The importance of changing speeds with his slider. That's something he's been working on.
Engel Beltre hitting .270 in 18 games in the big leagues this year. 1 double, 2 runs batted in. Steps in to face Kahn with Adducci over at first. First one in for a strike. Broken bat, looper toward third. Romine has it, 2 down.
Well, that's getting in someone's kitchen. Jammed him, pops it up to Romine and getting second out here of the 9th. Well, not fully committed to swinging.
That's bathrobes and slippers in that kitchen.
No.
Flipping pancakes.
Oh, no doubt.
2 outs and a man at first. This is Leonis Martin. 1 for 2 tonight with a single, a walk, and a punch out. Way inside, it gets by Iannetta. Adducci ends up in scoring position now. Wild pitch. Texas tonight with 3 runs, 9 hits, 4 errors, and 5 left on. The Angels 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 8 left on. Greg Richards looking for his 6th win. Holland on the hook for his 8th loss. 1-1. Time is called at the last minute. Everything else around baseball, a final. 1-1. Off the end of the bat, 1-2.
Good changeup from Michael. So he's used his slider and changeup to go on with 95-96.
1-2 pitch. It's down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cons 2-2. Martin lifts one out to right. Playable for Cole Calhoun. Under it. Like that baby up as the Angels make it 2 in a row over Texas. Tonight the final 8-3.
Oh, Mark Trumbo got it rolling in the first. His 31st home run of the season, a 2-run home run. The Angels score 3 after Texas scored 1 in the first. But Garrett Richards, for me, the story of this game, 7 very good innings. Just 1 earned run. 5 punch-outs. A lot of offense. Eric Ibar. Chris Iannetta, who did a great job behind the plate, mixed in a couple hits there. Also, 11 hits overall with 8 runs. After losing 7 straight to the Rangers, the Angels have won back-to-back games here, putting some pressure on the Rangers as they try to stay close with Oakland, who won earlier in the game. Mike Scioscia's club from the get-go, very aggressive, taking those extra bases. Right off the get-go, J.B. Shuck went into second base on a throwing error by Derek Holland, taking advantage of 4 errors in the game for Texas tonight. The Angels win this one 8-3, but one of the big heroes in the game, Chris Iannetta, was outstanding behind the plate, and with the bat, he's down there with Jose Mota. Chris, Jose, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Mark. How glad are you to see how this ball club has responded in the way they played the last couple of weeks?
It's been great. You know, we knew we had a lot of talent the whole year. It's just a matter of putting it all together in the last few weeks. We've been playing great. On the mound, defense, offense has been great.
You've been better offensively, things you've been working on. How much of a trigger is that for you confidence-wise?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been a tough year. It hasn't turned out the way I want, but recently it's been good, and just try to roll with it.
Veteran catcher, you've seen the growth also of a young pitcher and Garrett Richards in so many undefined roles sometimes. What was the key, for example, in the first inning when things could have gone worse for him?
You know, for the most part, he kept his composure, and he executed a lot of pitches on both sides of the plate, which really helped him out. That was something earlier in the year that he wasn't doing, but he did a great job and got out of it.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Chris Iannetta and the Angels continue to roll, and they get it done. Angels Live coming up next. Victor Rojas, Tim Salmon with more, breaking it down. Next.